Hello and welcome to today's video. We are here for another episode of our Overwatch League Power Rankings, as we're going to rank our teams here from stage number 2, week number 3. So as you guys may notice, the titles are changed. We're doing the Power Rankings not as like a preview for the week before, but a recap of the week that just happened. So a little bit of a change there. I just realized on the titles like a couple days ago, I'm like, this makes no sense. So, here we are, recapping week number 3, already this stage. And a lot of shuffling here in our power rankings after this week. So starting number 12 on our list, the 10th overall team in the standings, the Dallas Fuel. They are 5-11. They are 14, 39, and 4 on maps with a differential of -15. And the reason I put the Dallas Fuel at the bottom, they were moving up. Okay, I have the power rankings I think up to like 9th last week, but with internal issues with XQC and whatever other issues that they have within their team, I think that it has affected their whole team in a very negative way, and I feel like they're the worst team in the league right now. Play-wise, they could have beat Florida. Florida's not that good of a team. Oh no, I closed it. Florida's not that good of a team. They should have beat them. Who else did they play this week? Let's find out. I knew there was one other page that I needed to open. Let's see, schedule. Alright, so who'd they play this week? Yeah, they lost to San Francisco and Florida. Definitely two teams that you should not be losing to if you're supposed to be a top team like they were predicted to be earlier in the season. Coming in at number 11 is the 12th place team overall in the standings, the Shanghai Dragons. 0-16. They are 8-37-1 on maps with a differential of -49. So the differential in the record may seem like you're insane for putting them over Dallas, but hear me out. Against Seoul, they took a map, and they looked like they were a decent team. And I felt like, and I tweeted it out, it was the best match that Shanghai ever played. Later on in the week, they did get 4-0 by the Boston Uprising, but they looked like, against Seoul at least, like a team that is capable of winning. Now, their players are arriving relatively soon, and I think they would have had a better chance also if their main, one of their main guys, he had to go back to China for some family things, so he was not there, but for the most part, I feel like Shanghai could be getting a first win relatively soon. Do they play Dallas at all? They do not play Dallas in week 4 or week 5. They don't. See, week 4, who are they playing? Philadelphia. Maybe. I only see them once on here next week. No, there they are. They might be able to beat Philadelphia. If they're going to beat a team, it's going to be Philly. Because they're playing against New York the next week. Who are they playing week 5? Houston. Houston's not that good of a team. So they could beat Houston. I feel. Week 5, maybe they'll get a win. Houston just, they haven't impressed me at all. But Shanghai, they're getting new players in, so we'll see how they can adjust with that. They're going to have, I feel like, some more issues with one player speaking Korean and the rest of them speaking Chinese. There may be an issue they have to work around, but we'll see. Coming in at number 10, going up one spot, and the 11th overall ranked team in the league, the Florida Mayhem. They are 2-14 with a differential of -37. With their win over the Dallas Fuel in a reverse sweep, which I think is a terrible term, and almost beating Houston, they did get reverse swept by Houston, but Houston showed that they're not that good of a team in that anyways. So that's the thing. But Florida, I think, is on the rise. 16-50 in one of the maps. -34. They're not a good team. I'm not saying they're a good team, but they could definitely find themselves in 9th or 8th. Especially with some changes, some new players. They just got to start winning some matches. Your one win can't be against... Granted, they're playing against weak teams. They beat Dallas and Shanghai. I'm not saying they beat good teams, but if they can start beating good teams, start playing better at what they bring. They almost beat Houston, who was ranked as a top team previously. And that's the thing. Alright, coming in at number 9 here is also number 9 in the standings. The San Francisco Shock, 5-11, 25-38-3 with a -13 map differential. They beat the Fuel 3-0 this week and lost to New York 3-0. It seemed like a pretty just solid week for them. Beat the team you're supposed to beat. If you can go 1-1 in a week, you're expected to win a match a week. That's the thing. For San Francisco, they beat the team that they're supposed to beat. They should beat Dallas. And you can't expect them to beat the team that is one of the top 2 best teams in the league when they're one of the bottom teams. You just can't. But overall, they played decent. Alright, number 8 here on our power ranking. And at number 7 in the standings, the Boston Uprising. They are 8-8. They are 35-33 on maps with a +2 map differential. And this week, the Uprising, they beat Shanghai 4-0, and they got 4-0 by the Spitfire. Again, it was an okay week for them. Boston sort of been on a decline. They kind of like showed up late at the end of the first stage, and everybody's like, oh my god, they're doing good. But they kind of just gone down a little bit. You expect them to beat Shanghai. So it's what you expect coming into it. Whatever team loses to Shanghai, it's going to be like last in the power rankings. But I can tell you, if you lose to Shanghai, they're going down like 5 spots. It's just happening. But Boston, you're expected to beat Shanghai. London, if they're supposed to be a top team to compete in the playoffs, you expect the top playoff teams to be able to compete. And this really shows Boston might not be there yet, getting 4-0'd by London. It's going to be a little bit closer of a match. Now, are the playoffs like a single elimination like in football, or is it like multiple matches like baseball? That's a question. I don't know. All right, coming in number 7 in our power rankings and ranked 5th in the league in the standings, the Houston Outlaws. They are 10-6, 42-28 with a +14 map differential. Houston's been awful the past 2 weeks. Let's see. They got 4-0 by the Valiant, and Houston's supposed to be so good. There's so many good players. I don't even remember their names. Jake is supposed to be good, but he really isn't good. Muma there, he's not good either, honestly. Both really bad players. I don't think that they're that good. I think they're overhyped. And I am surprised that people have the Outlaws ranked so high. And I wouldn't be surprised if they started declining more down the rankings, down the standings at least. They got 4 by the Valiant and almost lost to the Mayhem, who at the time had 1 win over Shanghai. You can't be considered a good team and almost lose to the 11th overall team in the standings. You just can't. It's just not acceptable. And to get 4 by the Valiant, if you're supposed to be the best team, that's a Western team, basically meaning the best team that doesn't have all Korean players, you can't go losing to the other one 4-0. It's supposed to be close. So the Outlaws, sorry, you suck. No, but in an honest way, I don't think because of those reasons that they should deserve to be ranked higher. So I have them 7th overall in the standings. If they win this week, let's see who they're playing in week number 4. It may seem harsh, but we're criticizing the top teams now. You know, like, we have to be serious. They're going against the Gladiators. The Gladiators have been on a run. Wouldn't be surprised if the Gladiators beat them. San Francisco Shock, they should beat that. They should have 1 win, 1 loss next week. They should be right here, 11-7 next week. If they can maintain that, they might go up a spot. Now, number 6 in our power rankings. Now, the top 6 teams in July are going to be in the playoffs. Or like June or whatever. Not really sure when. But in that time. Anyways, So these are the teams that, if the playoff started now, would be in. Based on power rankings, of course, they're not necessarily in. But my power rankings, these are teams that I think are playoff contenders at the moment. In 6th place, the 8th overall team in the Overwatch League, the Los Angeles Gladiators. They are 33-33 on maps, with a differential of 0, of course. They beat the Los Angeles Valiant this week. Okay. Now, that dropped the Valiant down to my original power rankings to like 5th. But then the teams that I put above them lost their matches, and the Valiant got moved way up. So the rankings really are influenced every single day, and I adjust it. Whatever ends up at the end is what it is. So the Gladiators 4-0'd the Valiant, which I was shocked by. Later on, they won 3-1 over the London Spitfire. I watched a little bit of that match because it's on the computer, because I have the thing always running to get points for the league tokens. And I was editing a video on the computer. I had it running on the side. And I look over, and to see the Los Angeles Gladiators beating the London Spitfire, I was just shocked. I was not ready. So that's why I have them placed here in the position that they are in our power rankings. Of course, that being the 6th position. Coming in number 5th, coming in 5th, is the Philadelphia Fusion. They are 6th overall in the league, 33, 36, and 1 on maps with a -3 map differential. And I have them ranked here. This week, Philadelphia played against the Seoul Dynasty, which you don't expect them to beat Seoul Dynasty, but they were able to compete, taking a map from them, 3-1, which was very good for them. And also to lose 3-1 to the New York Excelsior. Again, a match you don't expect them to win. Those are the top 2 teams in the league. I mean, they should be beating you. So to take maps from both New York... Actually, did they take a map from New York? Yes, they did. So take a map from Seoul and New York does show they are a decent team. Are they a team that's going to contend necessarily in the championship game at the end of the year? That's to be seen. But they have shown that they are contenders. And again, I have them ranked over Houston, who everybody thought was a way better team. And I've been saying since the beginning, Houston and Philadelphia both are overhyped teams. They're not that good. But Philadelphia has shown this week, to me, that I think that they are a better team than I thought they were a couple weeks ago. Coming in number 4 here, and the bottom 3 teams, 10th, 11th, and 12th, is really hard to decide. And so was 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, really. London, Los Angeles Valiant, Philadelphia Fusion, Los Angeles Gladiators. It was really hard to pick because Philadelphia lost 2 maps. Okay? They lost both matches. The Gladiators won 2 matches, but they were ranked really low down, so I couldn't just put them in like 3rd. You know, I couldn't just say, hey, they're the 3rd best team in the league when they won 2 matches when they were like 9th overall. You know, I can't really just do that. The Spitfire, I know were a good team and they just had a bad match, so I can't put them like way down. The Valiant got 4-0'd by the Gladiators, who were like, at the time they were a really low team and nobody expected them to do good. And then they come out and wreck their next opponent. Who did they play? Who else did the Valiant play? They wrecked Houston. So it was really hard to make this decision. But with London losing to the Gladiators, which I felt like weighed more if I looked at the matchup, London and the Los Angeles Gladiators and the Los Angeles Valiant and the Los Angeles Gladiators, I just felt like the Gladiators Valiant game had less of an impact in the loss, and that's what put the teams where they are, because they each won one and lost one. But the Valiant, no, the Spitfire, they're the 3rd overall team in the league, standings-wise, 11-5, 46-23 on maps with a 23 map differential. And I put them here, again, based on the fact they beat Boston, but to lose to the Gladiators just outweighed the Valiant losing to the Gladiators. Because the Gladiators were not a good team going into this week. So that's where the Valiant come in. They are 3rd overall ranked, 4th overall team in the league. They're 11-5, 39-23, and 4 on maps with a plus 16 map differential. Again, them 4-0ing the Outlaws, which put the Outlaws way down on my rankings, as I said earlier. Felt they're not that good of a team. But the Valiant soon played really well in the Tracer. That was a very big thing for them. That if he can go off on Tracer, honestly, if you can go off on Tracer in the Overwatch League, you have a good shot. So with him playing really well in the Tracer, really helped them. But that was a thing for the Valiant, and that's why they're ranked here. They were able to not beat the Gladiators, but their loss to the Gladiators weighed less than the loss that the Spitfire had. Who else did the Spitfire beat? The Spitfire beat Boston. The Valiant beat the Outlaws. So, again, their wins, Houston was ranked higher than Boston. So, the team they beat compared to the team they lost to. They were closer to the team they lost to and closer to the team they beat. Where the Spitfire were further away from the team they beat, further away from the team they lost to. So, more weighed into it. Alright, so still ranked second here. The top two teams have not changed. It may change when they play each other this week, though. It will definitely change. Now, no matter who wins that match, okay? This week, we're coming up, New York, Excelsior, and Seoul. Is it Excelsior or Excel? I think it is Excelsior. Either way, the New York Excelsior and the Seoul Dynasty play. If New York loses to Seoul, they're staying second. If New York beats Seoul, they're going to the top. Basically how the power rankings are going to work this week. Now, if Seoul loses to London and New York, they're going down further. But if Seoul can beat both teams, it will solidify them being the top on our standings. But anyway, New York here is second. Again, these two teams are a toss-up. I have Seoul ranked higher. They are 6-0 in the stage. New York is not. New York is 5-1 in the stage, and that's the difference in this particular match. Again, head-to-head will outweigh it. If Seoul beats New York, they're up top. For sure. But New York Excelsior, they are 14-2. The number one ranked team in the league based on the standings. 51-15-2 in maps with a 36 map differential. The New York Excel this week, they beat the Philadelphia Fusion 3-1. And they beat the San Francisco Shock 4-0. Nothing really surprising. Those are teams you expect them to beat. I mean, Philadelphia showed that they are a good team, like I said, but you expect them to 4-0, the Shock. Looking forward to next week, though. Again, New York and Seoul playing each other. And New York is going to be playing Shanghai. So, at the least, New York should be 1-1 after this week. So, New York, they lose to Seoul, they're going to stay second. Basically how it works. So, in our power rankings, the winner of New York and Seoul, again, gets the top spot. That is that, though. They're going to be there, and Seoul also playing London. So, it's going to be a big match. Seoul basically has to go... I'd say if Seoul and New York both go 1-1 this week, that their standings will stay the same. Because you can't necessarily drop a team down if they lose to, like, London and put them over a team that beat Shanghai. Like, the team that beat Shanghai when they played... Because they play each other, but they're playing... One's playing Shanghai, one plays London. So if one beats Shanghai... So say New York loses to Seoul and beats Shanghai, they're 1-1. Seoul beats New York, loses to London. I mean, you can't really drop Seoul for losing to London over a team that beat Shanghai. It just doesn't work. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, but if Seoul beats New York, it's done. They're going to be the top spot. Of course, Seoul is number one on our rankings right now, being 6-0 in the league. They're the second team overall in the standings, 13-3. 44, 21-2 with a 23 map differential. They're right there with London for map differential. They have the same, but London has lost a lot more games. They've lost 2 more than Seoul. Seoul this week beat Shanghai 3-1. Again, Shanghai took a map from them. That was very surprising in general, but they were using their second team because they put all their effort into preparing for Philadelphia, who they also beat 3-1. So just 3-1 wins there for Seoul Dynasty, and that's the thing. They beat Lamim's teams. That's what I care. So, looking here, our power rankings this week. Again, ranking in our league, 12th, Dallas Fuel. Not in our league, but in the league. Dallas Fuel, 12th. Shanghai Dragons, 11th. Florida Mayhem, 10th. San Francisco Shock, 9th. Boston Uprising, 8th. Houston Outlaws, 7th. Los Angeles Gladiators, 6th. Philadelphia Fusion, 5th. London Spitfire, 4th. Los Angeles Valiant, 3rd. York Excelsior, 2nd. And number 1, Seoul Dynasty. Will there be a shakeup at the top of the power rankings this week coming up? I hope not, but because this is where I'm coming in and saying, yes, of course, Seoul's my favorite team. But if there's a shakeup, of course, I'm not going to be biased and be like, oh, well, Seoul's still better. If New York beats Seoul, New York will be the top team. I've seen before, you guys seen I had Seoul like 4th at one point. So it is possible that I won't necessarily put Seoul number 1 in our power rankings. But with that, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed our power rankings here for week number 3. Going into week 4, big matches to watch. Again, the matchups that Seoul is playing this week against New York and London, those are really big games. And that's really ones to look out for. I guess Los Angeles Valiant and Houston Outlaws, I did see that was supposed to be a good game. They're both competing for the top Western teams. I feel like if we're talking about the top Western teams, though, you gotta look at the Valiant and the Fusion, and then the Gladiators gotta be right there as well. That's really my looking at the top Western teams. I mean, the Gladiators beat the Valiant and the Spitfire, so it wasn't like they beat weak teams. But with that, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back next Sunday as we recap week number 4. We're going to see how those matches have impacted our power rankings. We'll see you guys next time.